So we've stopped by the fairly new studio here in Stockholm, Might and Delight. And I guess the first question has to be is who's Might and who's Delight out of you two guys?
I'm Might, definitely.
I can go with Delight, yeah.
It's two kind of good things, so
Yeah.
it's really what do you want to pick. But today's a big day, huge day for the studio.
Yeah.
Pit is finally coming out there, and I'm going to play the part as a sports commentator. Like, how does it feel? How does it feel to get it out there?
It's a big mix of emotions. I mean, we've been working on this for 2 years and really pouring our souls into it. So when you get to the end of this project of this type, you don't really know what kind of game you have made. So it's nervous, very nervous to find out what people will think about the game. But so far the reception has been very good. So we're really happy about it.
Yeah, it feels great, and it's a lot of fun to see friends and people you look up to comment about it and write about it. It's just really fun to finally have it in the hands of other people.
It's like maybe like walking through a tunnel and just coming out into the light. It's a little bit shocking almost.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like being in the eye of the storm. It hasn't hit us yet. I mean, it was just released, so right now no one likes it because no one has played it yet. It seems like there's no buzz, but it's going to explode pretty soon, I hope. Yeah.
And we've sort of just danced around the fact of the game. I mean, what kind of game is it, and what was the vision when you started out? Because I guess people, when this goes up, people have already perhaps sampled it already, but what was the vision that you went into the project with?
It's a retro game. It has very strong retro roots, and you can definitely see inspiration from those kind of classical games. It has those sort of values of precision and readability, and a really challenging game that demands a lot from the player. It expects you to learn the mechanic and really master it, and when you do that, that's when it actually shines. Besides that, I mean, besides having that core to it, it's an adventure game. So it's we try to have it very varied gameplay, varied settings, and just provide a player with a very different kind of experience.
Anything to add?
Well, I think for us as developers, we all take a lot of pride in our own craftsmanship, and we really wanted to let everyone in the studio focus on their parts and put a lot of time into it. And yeah, we were open to everyone taking their own, taking part in it in their own ways. So yeah, craftsmanship is just something we value a lot.
So I think when the studio was announced and when the game was started out, it sort of grew from a team that was over at Grin back in the day. Can you tell us a little bit how the journey's been for the studio? Because the first game a studio makes is always like it's a huge journey, but it's also like a huge journey for a new company. So what has those years been like?
Well, like you hinted, it started with the guys from Grin that made Bionic Commando Yarn. So it started out like that, and during the process they found people with similar values that wanted to create something new and at the same time very recognizable. So we have shifted in what kind of team we are right now. So I mean, like me and Christoffer come from the indie scene. This is our first commercial title, despite having worked on many games before. We have also tried to find people from different disciplines and different industries. So Retro Family, that's making the music. They have never worked on a game before. Our audio guy has never made a game before. He comes from the movie industry. So we want to find people that doesn't carry these sort of values about what a game has to be, and that can tackle every kind of challenge from a new perspective.
Anything?
No, nothing to add really.
Because I have the feeling that the Stockholm development scene has been a lot about AAA, a lot about the big studios in this city, and that sort of culture is changing a little bit now, and there's a little bit more of the mid-size and the smaller developers in Stockholm. Of course, there's always been sort of independence, you know, but there's a little bit more of a mix these days.
Yeah, I think it's the indies in general getting more traction, and I mean, like you said, they've always existed, but they're getting more visible nowadays. And I mean, Sweden is really famous in that regard. There's tons of super famous indies that still isn't that recognized in mainstream press, actually, which is unfortunate. So I think maybe that's the reason that we are moving up into AAA games or games of our size at Might and Delight.
Mm. So where do you feel Might and Delight might move in the future? Is this the kind of game you want to keep creating, or is there a plan to move into different directions, or what's ahead?
It's really hard to say yet. We've talked internally about things, but we haven't really decided yet, and hopefully, I mean, I think you're going to recognize whatever we do next and see that it's like trademark Might and Delight, but we haven't really pinned down exactly what we want to do yet. Unless you've got something to say about it.
No, that's good. Something new, I guess.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Mm.
We like I mean, the retro and platforming games, but that's and it was what our profile was when we started the company. But I mean, we might not make a retro game next. We want to create something new.
Mm.
I think for a PID we talked about like 70% something that you recognize, and that's based on all the old games, and then bring 30% of something new.
Mm.
And I think for the next game we want to increase that percentage to make a more new kind of experience.
Mm. And of course it came out today on PC and Xbox Live Arcade. Are there still plans to bring it out on PlayStation as well?
Yes, absolutely. We don't want to keep the PS3 owners waiting, so we can't announce the date yet, but it will be out very soon.
Mm.
And it's also out on Mac today.
Oh. Shouldn't miss out on that. It's actually very important. That's a very big part to say, because there's a lot of players these days that play on Mac as well.
Yeah, we're using the Unity engine, so in that regard it has been really fantastic to be able to support so many platforms from day one.
Mm. And well, I guess there's only one more thing to say, and that's thank you. And I look forward to playing. I haven't played it yet, I must say, but I'm looking forward to coming home tonight and then maybe downloading it on Xbox Live or Steam. And I hope you don't have too many glitches and bugs to work with. The QA department will have to work on that over the next few days, perhaps.
No bugs.
No bugs. Zero bugs. That's the best game ever.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
It's the perfect game.
Yeah.
It has to get 10 out of 10 in every review then.
Yeah, absolutely. Deal. Sounds good.
All right. Okay, but the opposite end of that is, of course, for every bug we deduct 1 point, so that's pretty harsh.
Yes, but there are no bugs, so it will be fine. Yeah.
All right. So thank you a lot for your time, and well, we'll keep playing PID.
Fantastic.
Thank you.